I'm James O'Connor. I think mobility is king, and I think that's the true secret to weight loss. I know a lot of people will say strength training, weightlifting, that's the real secret. Building muscle mass, you'll have less body fat, that's the secret to weight loss. Other people will say cardio, maybe slow, long, fat-burning cardio, and then other people say short, sprinting type of cardio. Don't get me wrong, I lift weights, I do cardio, I think that's all fantastic. However, if you're in pain, if your body is not mobile, chances are if you're in pain just sitting around doing your daily activities, you're probably not gonna take up going to the gym, doing a cardio routine or a weightlifting routine. And that's why I say I think mobility is king, and that is really the secret to losing weight, staying in shape, is being pain-free. And what I want you to think about is a 2-year-old. You were a 2-year-old once, and if you have a 2-year-old around you, they're pretty phenomenal beings when you watch them. If they ever drop a pencil, they don't bend over and pick it up. They walk, they do a perfect squat down, pick up the pencil, and then they're back to whatever they're doing. When they sit on the ground and they're doing different tasks, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but they have perfect posture. They don't ever sit slouched. Even if they're reaching for toys, they have perfect posture. The toy's out there and they reach. Whatever their task is, they're always in perfect posture. And that's why as human beings, when we develop from a baby, we spend so much time on our belly and our back, developing our abdominal muscles and our back muscles. When you're on your belly and you look up and you scan the room when you hear noises, you're building your neck, your back muscles, everything's getting super strong for your posture later in life, from walking from crawling to walking into normal other activities you do. You've built this super strong structure. Through living, you and I, if we're on our phone, we're like this. If we're at a computer, we're like this. If we're driving, we destroy our posture, limit our mobility, and put ourselves in pain. So what I want you to do is, you've got a couch at home, you're probably spending time by it or on it. Let's use it. Let's get you mobile, more flexible, pain-free, and then you'll be more likely to go to the gym, okay? So let's do this first. We're gonna use this couch, and all you're gonna do is you're gonna butt your butt and lower back. If you have a taller couch, maybe more of your back and shoulders go on it. And we're gonna work on trying to get flat-footed in a squat position. Now, most people, if they squat, if their knees are killing them and they're just not in a good shape, they don't even squat, so they avoid it. But let's get you going back to that gently with a couch for assistance. You can put your hands on this. I have chairs by the side of me, so anything that's gonna help support you, right? And we're gonna try to gently go back, get your lower back positioned, start getting your heels driven down to the ground. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna spend time in this position. This may be excruciating and painful, but we're not lifting heavy weights. We're not loading our joints traditionally like in a weightlifting room, right? This is just our body weight. So by all means, if this is killing you, probably don't do that. You need something a little bit more remedial. But otherwise, I think most of the population can handle something like this. So on the balls of the feet, you're gonna drop back, try to get flat-footed. There we go. I'm kind of sinking into it. And you want to stay as close with your heels and your butt to this couch. When you finally achieve that flat-footed, like my heels are down, big toe, pinky, your foot, it's not quite like a box, but there are corners, right? Both corners of your heel, so each side, right and left, and then pinky toe and big toe. We want all of that to gain surface right on the ground. And then even some people have some different funky ankles, foot issues, and they tend to turn in, turn out. We're gonna try to have our knees in a straight line with our ankles. So instead of going way forward like this, let's sit back and start getting the shins a bit more vertical. That way you have all 4 corners. Now that you're here, we're gonna start opening up your chest. Your arms can come back. Now this is supporting us, so we don't necessarily need anything for balance, right? I'm resting down, in. We're gonna bring our shoulders back, our arms back. You can even use the couch here. You can lay into it, this is fine. But as you lay back, open up your chest, lift your chin, and you're gonna activate your back here, okay? So we're not being lazy about this and just moving our arms. Look, shoulders over the hips. I'm gonna move my head back so my ears are over my shoulder and working on perfect posture. Not like this, but back. We're just gonna spend time here. You may only be able to take 10 seconds, and then you start having to kind of get out of it, relieve yourself from that pain, and then by all means, try to go back into it. If you can't do 10 seconds, do 5 seconds. It doesn't matter how long you're here. You're just gonna focus on being here. Shoulders back again. Use this as much as possible. Open up the chest, keep your chin up, pull your ears back to your shoulders instead of drooping down as if you're looking at a phone. Now, when you get more comfortable here, what I'm gonna encourage you to do, I'm gonna reposition myself. I'm gonna pull my feet back towards the couch a little bit more. Now, it just got tougher. My heels raised way up. I got closer than I was. I'm gonna drop back down. Then I'm gonna take my right hand on the ground, left hand on the ground, and I'm gonna work back and forth, still trying to get my heels down. If you can grab your ankle, hold it. Use your second hand on that same knee. So I'm just holding, bracing, keeping my knees over my ankles. Don't let them flare out too much. Definitely don't let them cave in. And I'm gonna start adding a small twist. Look at this. I use this hand, I push my knee, push, and I slowly start looking up to the ceiling. Now, I don't have the mobility or flexibility yet to turn all the way up, but I'm just trying. Exhale and breathe out, and then come back. Exhale and breathe out, come back. Now look, this is all done in your home. You're using a couch. You can have Netflix on. When you're watching something, do this. If you're watching an hour movie, twist, push down, you have an ample amount of time there. Don't do this for an hour and a half. You're gonna kill yourself. If you're new to this, spend 5 minutes. Get back up on the couch or wherever, and I encourage you to actually sit on the ground. And you're gonna try to spend time all throughout the day. Now, what I normally did at first, I had my phone on me at all times, probably like you, and I used the counter on it. So I would hop down in a squat, I would lean against something, I would lean against the wall, and I just do 30 seconds, a minute here and there throughout the day. And I tried to accumulate throughout the day 30 minutes. And that's all we're striving for, is 30 minutes total throughout the day, not 30 minutes sitting here at a time. That's asking way too much. Okay, so we're gonna sit down, get out of this position. You can then, from here, your feet, your ankles, point the toes, flex them. If you're not used to that position, your knees might ache and your ankles might feel pretty tight after this. It's no problem. You're gonna go back to your normal state really quick. It just depends on how much time you spend here. So that squat position is like the very basic position that we as humans should be able to do. If you think about a lot of tribes, when they gather, they don't have chairs, right? Maybe they sit on a log, but around a campfire, they would squat with their friends and maybe tell stories. And a third to half of the world's population in third world countries, when they go to the bathroom, they squat. They don't have toilets like us that are raised off the ground. Everything we've done has destroyed the squat. Our couch, our toilets, our cars, everything we do has destroyed our squat. And we want to try to regain that, all right? So this is just basic framework I encourage you to work on. We're going to try to get out of pain and get to the gym. All right, so second thing, you may want to take a pillow. If it's obviously at your house, you might have pillows on the couch or just a folded up blanket like this. We're gonna put it on the ground because we're gonna kneel now. So my carpet here isn't real cushy. It kind of hurts my knee. So I'm gonna use this for extra cushioning, and I suggest you do the same. We're gonna put our knee down. My foot is gonna come up on the couch. Now this may be sort of an awkward stretch, if you wanna call it. This is a couch stretch to get into. So at first, what we're gonna do with the knee on there, on the ground, just put your hands down. Okay, balance yourself. This right here, this position, this may be enough for you, okay? If you want to take it a little further, we're going to push it back, and I want to try to get my shin as vertical as we can so my knee is touching the couch. Now, I spent quite a bit of time doing this, okay? So for me, this isn't that big of a deal. For you, if you've not spent any time, this may be suffering, okay? Once you have this, we're going to try to lift up, and I'm going to take my hips, and I'm going to drive them forward. You can see this ankle and knee is a nice straight line. This foot is on top of the couch. And again, I want to try to get my knee back as far as I can. Use both hands on the ground. You can drop your hips, walk this foot out a little bit, play with this foot positioning. And from here, you can just go back and forth gently. We're going to try to get those hips more comfortable in this position. This foot may not be too comfortable, or the front foot, so just try to endure it as much as you can. We're always breathing. Then you can gently bring one hand up, touching your knee, not twisting or anything. This is all just for balance. And then finally, we can come up, 2 hands on here. When you do this position, we're gonna try to get our glute and our heel to touch, and then our hips start to go forward. And again, we're just gonna spend some time here. So I'm not gonna prescribe how much time or how many reps or anything like that. I just want you getting comfortable. We'll switch to the other side. My other knee is gonna go down, other foot is up, foot on top of the couch there, and I just work my knee back. Work my knee back until I can touch the couch. From here, this again may be enough for you. So you can push your hips down and back to kind of alleviate the pain. Get into that pain, feel it a little bit, and then go back. If you're ready, start getting a hand off the ground. And then the second hand coming up. The whole point of this is we're not trying to get a workout. We're just restoring our body, going back to what we were as a 2-year-old. If you showed a 2-year-old to do this, like, they'd have no problem, right? We have to get back to that 2-year-old state. So after you've done both sides, again, I'm gonna leave it up to you. I'm not gonna necessarily direct you on how much time, how many reps, how many times you go through that. But again, if you had an hour of your time watching a movie on Netflix or binge watching, you've definitely got 10 minutes for this. I prefer to always do it in the morning when I wake up and have coffee. First thing I try to do is get on the ground and start just moving my body slow and kind of feeling where anything is tight and working my way out. All right, last thing we're gonna go through. We're just gonna open our legs. You don't have to do the splits, but we're gonna work on our posture. So this again is where the couch comes in. I want you to drive your body, your glutes back, hips are touching, lower back, maybe the upper back, depending on how high this couch is. Your legs are gonna be straight. And all I want you to do is, we're not going down, we're not trying to do the splits. What I want you to do with this perfect posture, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. I want you to point the toes, flex them, and I'm gonna try to get this heel off the ground. This may be incredibly hard, okay? To get your heel off the ground, we're not lifting our leg, we're trying to flex our toes, pull the toes back. See how my heel came up? And I think about the back of my knee going flat on the ground. And I'm doing that with both legs at the same time. My posture's here, you can bring the arms back, you can pop the arms up here. The only thing I don't want you to do is when your arms come up is to do something like this and my head starts jetting forward. So this is a super basic, super easy motion we can do. We'll point, flex. You're flexing your quadriceps, these muscles on top of your thighs. Point, flex, and this is just an exercise for our ankles. Obviously your quadriceps are getting a bit of a workout as well. Then when you're comfortable here, so we're repositioning our body, we're turning everything off, it's relaxed, you don't have to flex anything. And then do put your hands on here. So here's something we're gonna do. We're gonna walk our hands forward. You're not gonna go down, because you can see my back is rounding and my posture is broken. So keep your posture, hands in front. You're gonna walk out, keep your chin up. Your chest will go forward and down, but you're not dropping and rounding your back. And all you're gonna do is you stop. So when I get about here and I feel like there, I start to break my posture, I round my back, I back off and I work on this straight posture. And all you're gonna do, so there's this line here, my hands don't go past. If I go past them, it breaks. I keep the hands on the line. And all I want you to do is walk on that line just as far as you can. Small twist, and then walk back. Look how simple this is. We're regaining what we lost from being a 2-year-old, just kind of the most gentle way possible. Because if it hurts, if you're already in pain and you're chasing more pain, you're probably not gonna stay consistent. I want this to actually feel good, right? So keep moving back and forth, left and right. And what you'll find is you'll back off a little bit. And if I ask you to go and see if you can reach past this invisible line, I bet you can do it without breaking your posture. And all we're doing is we're spending time in uncomfortable positions, not impossible positions, uncomfortable. So you get a little uncomfortable, move. I don't like holding static stretches. Traditionally, especially like in gym class, touch your toes, hold for 30 seconds. I don't prefer that because I don't do that in my life. I don't know about you, but there's rarely a time I'm holding, reaching, and being static. Everything is dynamic and fluid. And when I get hurt, it's because I'm in improper position. So when I reach and my posture buckles and breaks, or if I squat down in the weight room with trying to lift heavy weight and something happens with my posture again and my back gets hurt. So I'm always striving for perfect posture over everything. Here we go again, walking forward. Now, when you're comfortable and you've done enough, what I want you to try to do is pull your feet in, and we're gonna see if you can get from this position, working your way back up to the squat, and see finally if you can go a little bit lower. Man, I'll tell you what, when I first started this with you guys, my ankles were really stiff and I had a hard time getting here, but man, I feel like I can pop right back here. It's only been 2 or 3 minutes, right? Maybe a little bit longer. And I can already feel the results of this. Results aren't long lasting though. This is why I suggest you do it all throughout the day in little micro adjustments of your life. And just squeeze it in wherever you can. Here I am going forward a little bit, coming back up, perfect posture. So I'm purposely rounding my back here just a little bit to get a stretch in my lower back. Reach, try to flex forward, and then we're gonna come up and make that posture perfect again. Now, it's okay to break your posture most of the time as long as you don't have weights, you're not loaded. Like if we were squatting, I would never ask you to break your posture. But real life, you have to break your posture often, right? Our goal is to make our posture as strong as we can. So therefore, if we do break it and we reach and we accidentally do break it under load, we're not gonna get hurt. This is always our goal. And again, the better you feel, the more relaxed you are, the looser you are, the more mobility you have throughout your body, I bet thinking about going to the gym is gonna sound less painful. If you're sitting on the couch and you're just in pain sitting around, the thought of going to the gym is absolutely excruciating. So remember, the whole purpose of this is I want you to get back to your 2-year-old self. We want to find these squatting positions, these sitting, resting positions, perfect posture, no pain. Now, I did say I think this is the last one, but I've got one more for you. If you watch 2-year-olds play, they tend, again, with good posture, they sit on the ground in a variety of ways, depending on what their task is. Usually their task is playing. So what I want you to do is pretend you have toys on both sides of you when you're 2 years old. You're gonna position one leg up, one leg tucked, and I just want you to sit. This shouldn't be hard. This isn't an exercise. We're gonna practice our posture. Reach, come back, and you're just gonna switch. If I switch there, if you watch a 2-year-old again, they don't just do this, because they would tip over. They know if they do this and reach for something, they're gonna tip. So what do? They position their hand down, they switch their legs. It's like they're doing jujitsu, they know jujitsu, and then they reach. See, this hand right here provides a great support, great balance. And as I reach, I can get that toy. And we're just pretending like we're picking something up. Good base, switch your legs, position your hand a little bit more outside, and reach. And again, all you're doing is, throughout this motion, see if you can do it without breaking your posture and rounding your back like this. Shoulder over the hips. As it goes past the hips, I still keep my spine straight. Reach. And you'll find you're actually kind of limited. So if I stay perfect, right about there's all I can twist. So if I needed to reach something further, I just move my hand out. I move my hand out. So this is my strength, my base, my support. Because the farther out I go, the weaker my spine gets, and I need to support my spine with something. I don't have enough muscle yet back there. A 2-year-old does. I'm working on it. Yep, I can't reach any farther, so I position my supporting hand out. Now I can go a little bit further. And again, chest is out. We're trying to always keep that perfect posture. I hope this helps. I really believe that this is the key to so many people's weight loss. Weight loss is not a fun journey for some people, right? Because they're out of shape and they're in pain. If I can get you back pain-free, then we can go forward and get to the gym and do your cardio, do your weights. But if you're never pain-free, chances are you're not hitting the gym. Keep moving forward.